The eternal dance of global politics, where the strong flex their muscles and the weak try not to be trampled underfoot. Now let's talk about Egypt, shall we? A country with more problems than a mass textbooks, yet somehow expected to play nice with the big boys like the United States. But Egypt, with its economy held together by duct tape and prayers, stand up almighty Trump and the United States of America? Well, let's dive into this delightful mess. First, let's set the stage. Egypt, poor but proud, is no stranger to bending the knee when Uncle Sam comes knocking. If the United States warship wants to cut line in the Suez Canal, Egypt's Suez Canal Authority could probably roll out the red carpet, maybe even throw in a complimentary bottle of Nile water. After all, he wouldn't want a bat on his head and a few crumbs of support from the world superpower. It's a classic give and take relationship, except Egypt gives and the United States take. But what if the United States decided to up the ante? What if, say, Trump waltzed in and they said, "Hey Egypt, how about you hand over a chunk of the Sinai Peninsula so we can dump a few million Palestinians there, just temporarily, while we rebuild Gaza into a 5-star resort. Pinky promise they will go back." Now, that is a request that can't be brushed off with a diplomatic smile and a handshake. This is the kind of demand that makes you wonder if the United States think Egypt is running a timeshare business in its citizens. So, would Egypt agree? Well, let's assume for a moment that the Egyptian political leadership, in a moment of sheer brilliance or depression, decides to play along. Maybe they are promised debt relief or $1 trillion or a lifetime supply of American flags. Sure, why not? Let's just carve up the Sinai and call it a day. But wait, what would the Egyptian people? What about the Egyptian people? Those folks who actually live there and might have an opinion or two about their country being turned into a refugee camp. And let's not forget the Egyptian military, who might have something to say about the whole giving away thing. Now, let's talk about Trump's grand vision. A few days ago, he floated the idea of rebuilding Gaza into a shiny new city, complete with happy residents who will return after a quick 5, 6 or even 30 years vacation in Jordan and Egypt, because Jordan already has a lot of Palestinians and Egypt has plenty of space. Sure, Trump, because nothing says diplomatic genius like suggesting a country with over 100 million people and struggling economy should just make room for a few million more. What would possibly go wrong? Trump reportedly chatted with the king of Jordan, who probably nodded politely while silently screaming inside. Then he mentioned plans to talk to President Sisi, who has already said no to this nonsense before. But hey, who needs consistency when you are dealing with a man who thinks foreign policy is a real estate negotiation? I'll give you $1 trillion and you'll give me Sinai. Deal? Great. But let's play devil's advocate. What if Egypt's leadership suddenly had a change of heart? What if the foreign minister of Egypt issued a statement saying, for the sake of our Palestinian brothers and because we love a good constructing project, Egypt has agreed to temporarily host Palestinians in Sinai. Don't worry, they will totally go back. Of course, history tells us that temporary solutions have a funny way of becoming permanent. Just ask the Palestinians who have been waiting 75 years to return home. So, what would the Egyptian people think? Just say they wouldn't be throwing a parade. And the military, they would probably have a few choice words and maybe tank or two to express their depression in reality. In reality, the Egyptian government has been clear. Displacement, whether permanent or temporary, is big fat no. But in the wild world of geopolitics, where logic goes to die, who knows what would happen? Maybe Egypt will surprise us all and tell Trump to take his cyanide timeshare and shove it, or maybe they will just say, roll their eyes and say, fine, but we are keeping the $1 trillion. Either way, it is going to be a show. Thank you for watching.